Welcome to episode number 16 of Turning $100 into $1 million, the series where I risk a whopping $100 of my own money in an attempt for your entertainment to turn it into $1 million. Now, in this episode, we're actually going to be looking at another stock that I do actually own in a separate portfolio, but before we get there, of course, we have to do our consistent update. So, of course, the four positions. Now, if you are new to the series, be sure that you go back all the way to episode number 1. I have an entire playlist on the homepage of the channel. You can check out all of the episodes of the series, and just like any other TV show, it wouldn't make sense if you're watching episode 10 and you haven't watched the first 9 episodes. So be sure that you do go back, and the playlist will play automatically. You just sit back, relax, eat some popcorn, some ice cream, and that playlist will play for you automatically. But if you are brand new and you don't feel like watching the previous episodes, just so you understand what we're dealing with, the two stocks that I actually paid for with my own money, and that, of course, is $100, as we're not going to be putting any other money into this account, is ABR and OXLC. And the two positions that are free, those are free stocks that I received from referrals, are Levi, or Levi Strauss & Co., and VIAC, or Viacom CBS Incorporated. And if you would like your own stocks, your own free stocks as well, being valued up to $1,400, you can use my referral link down below in the description. You get a free stock, I get a free stock. It's a win-win scenario, and you don't even have to necessarily deposit anything to get that free stock. Looking at some impressive strength from ABR, but still some recovery room definitely for OXLC. Viacom is still holding strong, and Levi Strauss & Co. seems to be just trading sideways, but we'll take a look at what the charts look like. ABR had a wonderful day on the Friday close on May 22nd, and today is Saturday. I'm doing this now because Sunday the market is closed and Monday the market is closed again for Memorial Day, so today's Saturday. So ABR had a great day and some action after hours as well. And like I said in the last episode, I'm hoping to sell ABR soon, lock in that profit. Of course, you don't want to get too greedy, but I still think there is definitely room for recovery. You can always say hindsight is 20/20, but we shall see what happens. But very, very strong, consistent growth over these last 5 days, and the 1 month looking great as well. Just impressive growth all around. Just waiting for it to, and it's very close, and now it actually did after hours. It is now over that 781 mark, well over. So I think starting when the Tuesday market open, we could see this thing rocket up, no end in sight. OXLC has been beaten down, basically trading sideways for these last 5 days, and the 1 month a downtrend, but I think it's not going to necessarily go through that 241 mark. That seems to be definitely a line of support. So as long as it doesn't break through that mark, we shall be in good hands, I do think. And right now you can see it is just trading sideways if you look at the chart this way. So it isn't showing any signs that it wants to necessarily crash through that mark. Levi, not much of a change, just been kind of going sideways over these last 5 days, but still is up for the month, depending on where you look at it, but it just kind of consolidating right now. And Viacom is kind of the same story, 5 days and 1 month. Just been going sideways, not much of a drastic price difference. But the stock I wanted to talk to you about in this episode is BILZF, or BILZF, or Ignite. And I actually, for you subscribers, you know that I own BILZF or Ignite. You know that I have lots of shares of this company. I do understand it's a penny stock and it is outside of my normal investing style, my more conservative, long-term style, but I have a lot of hope and faith in Dan Bilzerian, and that's just not kissing up to him. I do believe that the company will do well, especially, obviously, marijuana legalization across all 50 states would essentially put them at the top of the game. He's such a large influencer. But I explained all of this in a video I did last year, and then a little bit more recently, I did a 6-month update on the investment. Now, if you look at that 6-month update, you would say, wow, this looked like a terrible choice because I lost a lot of money. However, something happened. Something happened, guys. Over these last few days, and particularly the trading day of, I believe it was, yeah, right there, May 21st, it opened up a lot higher than usual. almost a 34% gain, 20 cents up there. And right before that, it did show some signs of growth, although the market did very well and the Dow was up over 900 points in one day, so that could have contributed to it. But it did show some signs of growth even before then. But then on the 21st, something happened. Something happened, guys. So what did actually happen? What caused this over almost a 34% gain in just one day? What happened here? Well, the answer is we really don't know just yet. But with that being said, unrelated, because if you look at the charts, it really didn't have anything to do. This was written on May 13th and directly from Ignite. This was a press release. They announced that they were hiring a new CFO, or Chief Financial Officer, and it was a start date of June 8th, 2020. So we're not at June 8th yet. We're not even in June. They're not able to disclose the name of the new CFO who will be joining Ignite, but he is a chartered professional accountant with extensive experience across a diverse group of industries in companies ranging from small and privately held to publicly traded Fortune 500 organizations. So the former CFO has resigned, and blah, 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 information we don't necessarily need right now. But that was on May 13th, that announcement. And if we look at the chart just for kicks on May 13th, that day was down, although a little bit of an uptick there, but nothing too crazy, only a 3 cents uptick. So I wouldn't necessarily correlate the hiring of the new CFO unless there was new inside info that it was this unbelievable wizard of finance. But it doesn't seem to be that was necessarily correlated. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you think that was correlated? Do you think there is a relation between the stock's jump and the hiring of the new CFO? The timing wasn't exact, it wasn't precise. If it was, I would tell you that that's the answer, but it's not. So what is going on? Well, we really, really don't know. There hasn't been any other news. There hasn't been any other press releases. Of course, Dan hasn't posted anything about it. I mean, he does, use his products and consume them on his Instagram and Snapchat. So you'll see him do that, but that's normal. He's been doing that for a long time. So what could have possibly happened? We really don't know. But we can only speculate, and that leads me to look at this messenger board here. I spent some time on this in my day just for fun. It's a good place just to read, but you don't necessarily want to get financial information from it. They're not necessarily people that are experts or CFAs, so you don't necessarily just want to follow anything that you read, but it is just a good place to chill out and read and speculate. So this is the Yahoo Finance, basically a conversation or message board or forum, whatever you want to call it. And you could look up any ticker symbol and there'll be lots of conversations, of course, with a more popular stock, something along the lines of a Apple or Disney. There's a lot more conversations people are posting in there daily, hundreds of times a day. But with something not as popular, a penny stock like this, you're not going to get as much interaction. But there are a few posts, so let's read what people are speculating and guessing about what's going on here. So the newest reactions, which we have it set here, this is the newest. Someone is curious if this pop in the stock is due to this new development from Shopify, since Dan has 31 million followers. So if you don't know, Shopify is essentially an e-commerce platform where you could build a website, build a platform to sell your product, whether it be digital products or physical. It's a commonplace for people to do drop shipping. So perhaps Dan did make his website with Shopify. I have looked at his website before. It does look like a Shopify website. So that could be it. And Shopify has this integration with Instagram where you could sell directly on Instagram now without your customers ever having to leave the app. Possible. I don't know about that. It wouldn't necessarily bring in more customers or revenue per se, but it could lead to a small increase in sales, but I don't think it's necessarily why the stock decided to jump that much in one day. Mac here is speculating, though, that they're going to surprise everyone. Strong revenue and earnings. The quarantine was the best thing to happen to BILZ. I believe that is the name of the stock in Canada. Different ticker symbol, but it's the same company. Dan stuck inside and not traveling for promotion, quote unquote, saves roughly $2 million a month. So a lot of haters of Ignite are saying that Dan is just blowing all of his money away and unnecessary expenses and travel and gambling, that they just throwing money down the tubes, and that's why it's a garbage company on a zero. They have their right to their opinion. They're entitled. I do think that this is the future. I do think that Dan is a visionary and knows what products to serve his customers best, and he knows what works and doesn't work. He has a lot of experience in this industry. So I'm sticking true and standing my ground. Frank said that's funny. TJ replying to Cody said that Doubtful. They have to report by June 15th for year-end 2019. Cody said, will their quarter one earnings report be released prior to last year's annual report? So perhaps the T&E or travel and expenses is not the reason, as they have to report by a certain date and it didn't match up. So it could be something. And then TJ here saying something is going on. And then Mac from the other post replying to TJ now, I don't see this as being a target for a large cannabis company. In my opinion, people need to understand this is a branding company. All of their products are branded through licensing deals. They have zero attachment to the vertical supply chain of their products. Everything Ignite is a white labeled product. They have thrown the Ignite logo on. To add to that, water, nicotine vapes, alcohol, all outside of the cannabis space. This is a branding company, and so on and so on. No, I do understand that sentiment. I do understand why one may think that way. But you have to understand and you can't underestimate the power of Dan's following and his connections and influence. Many products are sold as white label, that just a brand or name is slapped on. A lot of the products that you see nowadays are just slapped on with a name. For example, you walk into Walmart and you see Walmart branded food. It's not necessarily Walmart's food, it's another brand, but Walmart slaps a label on it, and yet it still sells. So I don't know if that's necessarily a reasonable rationale, but I do think it adds value. You could definitely think that if you'd like, you're entitled. TJ said, who knows, some consolidation in the sector with ACB. Could this dog ever be a target? Insider news. But we all know that's not happening, lol. As long as they pump it to $3, it's fine by me. Israel says it's just a pump and dump. $3 would put me in the profit. That would make me quite a bit of money. I believe that would be like thousands of dollars for me. So if that's the target that TJ has in mind, then so be it. I'll gladly accept that target. Perhaps take my profits there or wait for a larger expansion of their brand. And then these posts are older. You could read through those if you'd like. So we truly don't know. It could just be a pump, but I haven't seen Dan post anything that would necessarily pump the stock up. In these last few days, I follow Dan, I watch all of his stories, and that's just me being prudent. I have the right to do that, I'm a shareholder. So nothing has seemed to happen over these last few days as far as Dan's social media. So I do think there could be insider info. Something's going on that we're not seeing. Maybe a deal is coming close to being closed. Maybe there's going to be another expansion of products after Ignite announced the expansion with retailer Circle K. And I did that in my 6-month update. I talked about that, and all those links will be down below where I talked about my Ignite investment. So we'll have to wait and see, and I will keep you guys updated. I will definitely include this stock in future episodes. Now, I do know that it's not related to my Webull portfolio. This is totally separate, but we cover penny stock news and stocks making headlines in this series, so I think it was right to put this in there. Comment down below your speculations. If you are a Ignite shareholder, tell me down below what you think. What do you think is going on? What do you think is the inside scoop? What's the 411? Tell me down below in the comments. So net account value stands right now at 141 and 16 cents. Granted, that is some free stock, but you know what? I'll include it. Who cares? That would be exactly just about, because I have a little cash there from dividends and cash that didn't make it into the investments. We can call it a 41.16% gain. I think that would be fair to say. I think it's a gain. ABR we're about to come out of, and Viacom is still holding strong. That's a near 30% gain there, almost 18% gain there. Pretty good picks on my part. Not too bad, but I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, smash the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos from my channel and more episodes just like this, be sure that you do subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. I post videos every single week without fail. See you in the next video.